Baylor Bears.
Rolls off your tongue, doesn't it?
It does really run it. Yeah. Number one team. Talk about them. How do you see them?
Well, they're good. I mean, they're so long. I think is the biggest thing. Makes that zone really good. I mean, when you can pretty much touch hands across the floor, you're going to cover some ground, and they cover a lot of ground.
Not that this is a revelation. Watching the Oklahoma State game, and every time it seemed like they got an offensive rebound, they were pitching it on a jump shot or something. Is that just their style of play or the way the guys are? Or?
I think that's I think Rick started it, and then I think everybody's kind of joined in, you know. But that's really probably the best time to get a three. You're getting step-in threes, and generally there's nobody around you.
What has been the biggest difference, you think, between Baylor teams you faced in the past and this year's team that's become undefeated, number one in the country? Where do you think they've made the biggest stride this year?
Size and length. You know, Gathers was really a heck of a player for him, but he wasn't as long. Prince was really a good player for him. He's not as long as Motley. I think their length. They're just. You can't simulate their length.
They have in the wall and Queel, they have guys who's 7 foot, 7'1" at the back end, protecting the rim. I mean, what does that give them?
About the same thing that Motley gives him on the wing, because he's about 6'10" or 11. It's great length. I mean, they can make mistakes and compensate for it with their length. You don't get anything easier or unchallenged around the rim.
Quickness against length.
Are you thinking?
Well, always. It takes me a while to remember what my name is. Quickness against length. I mean, is that what this comes down to?
Yeah, pretty much. We've got to do a good job in a full court. They're going to play man too. I mean, pretty much they've played man after a miss and zone after a make. So they give you a lot to get ready for. And he's played some box and one. So. Yeah, we've got to do a good job in a full court, try to speed them up.
You don't hear his name, Drew's name, and great coaches and all that. Yet he came in there and, he picked up nothing, built it into something, and just rebuilt it into something. And I mean, he's got to be doing something right.
I think he's starting to get his due a little bit nationally. I see more things, about him. It's just hard in this league. I mean, this league's just so full of great coaches. You got a couple. I think Lon Kruger's going to be a Hall of Fame guy. Self already is. You look at Bruce Weber's been to 2 Final Fours. How many guys been to 2 Final Fours? I mean, there's a bunch of great coaches in the league, and I think that sometimes guys get overlooked. But he's always done a great job. I think if you look, he's always been in the mix. He's always been in the NCAA tournament. I mean, they beat us 3 times in a row here. So he's obviously a better coach than I am.
Your bench a little bit, probably more than you anticipated. You looking to get more guys in the mix? I think you're playing about 9, where you're playing about 11 last year.
John, it's kind of like I tell them every day. We're trying to win, and I'm going to play the guys that I think are going to win. Now, I'm playing Nate too much. I mean, I fully understand that. I think that's been a part of why he hasn't made as many shots as what, I think he can. We're going to try to get him, but he's so hard to get out of there. Tay hasn't played particularly well. The last few games, he played really well for a while, and then he's kind of struggled a little bit. We need to get him going again so he can give us more minutes, so I can get rest those other guys a little bit more. We've been trying to get Lamont more minutes. I think, you know, the three-headed monster that we play inside, you know, I think distributing those minutes, I think, has been okay. But then, you know, in Texas Tech, then all of a sudden you get Elijah has a bad game and Brandon gets hurt. You know, it's been, I think, a combination of a whole lot of things. We need to get Magic in. You know, we need another big. We need to get him in, and he probably, next to Nate, probably has as good a feet as any of them. So defensively, I think he could do a pretty good job for us.
Yeah, that was kind of your mantra. Your 11's better than their 8 or whatever, and you got a deal here with Baylor where they only play basically 8 guys. So that's one of your advantages.
Well, it's wearing down the right ones, though. You know what I mean? It's we want to wear down the right ones, and I think we can do that. I think we can make a pretty good attempt to do that.